This is our last interview of the day on the Saturday at Louder Than Life Festival for Hounds, and we are joined by Raven, who is Raven Gray. Thank you for coming down to see us today. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking.
And what was the set like earlier? Because it is so damn hot out here. Like, did you bring the heat as well?
I definitely brought the heat, and I also wore an outfit that was a bit more revealing than I would have liked, but it worked out well. Yeah.
Nice ventilation going on.
Oh yeah, a lot of ventilation, for sure. We had to make sure that the nipples were covered, and they were. It was great. There were no nip slips.
Because that's a duty that some people do actually have. It's like, you're on nip slip duty today.
Right, exactly. My manager, Jack Novak, was actually on nipple duty.
It's an important role. It's like, you got to maintain the integrity of the art form.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of integrity, like, you have got so much amazing music out at the moment. I want to start with the Embers tune that you did with Rez. Like, how did that conversation first happen between you and Rez?
All right, so me and Isabel Rez, we met through a mutual friend, and I had sent Isabel a demo of Embers that was originally a rock version. It was a rock demo, and she sent me something back like 2 days later, and she was like, "What do you think about this?" I'm like, "What do you mean? What do I think about this?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" And I remember, I don't know, I was in the bathroom somewhere, and I was just like, "Fuck yeah, this is awesome, this is happening." And you know, it took a couple years for it to come out, but I'm just so grateful and so blessed. I love electronic music. That's where I started, you know, like my love for music really started in electronic music. So for me to have that collaboration with Rez, an EDM icon, that's just, it's mind-blowing. I still can't wrap my brain around it, but I'm right here, so. That's
huge. So you said some of your earlier influences came from the EDM scene. What kind of acts are we talking about?
So like Zoe Johnston, for example. Zoe Johnston is a vocalist that worked predominantly with Above and Beyond. And I know that she has her other stuff going. So I always loved that. And then Ellie Goulding, I loved her collaborations with Seven Lions and Skrillex. I really, I would just love watching live sets on YouTube. I would be like, "Mom, look at this." I was like 12, and I would be showing her like a live stream of Tomorrowland. And she's like, "What the fuck? All right, okay, all right." And that was, you know, what I did. I would watch how Seven Lions put together his production, and that really got me into just music. I mean, I was already into music, but it was like, oh my God, there's music worlds that I can go and like explore stages. Like, this is fucking awesome. So yeah, the song Embers with Rez, we just surpassed 1 million streams.
Yeah,
and
you did.
Yeah, I'm so grateful, and I'm just so excited to see what happens next.
And you got to perform it live at Rez Fest as well, didn't you?
I didn't actually, but I will.
Oh, you didn't? Was there not a video on Instagram?
There was so she played it live for the first time at Res Rocks on night 2. I was able to just grab a screen grab from it, but I wasn't able to go. But schedules didn't correlate properly. But next time, when she plays it again, I'll most likely be there on stage with her.
With the live feature?
Yeah, she likes to have, like, for example, she had Under Oath on stage, she had Grabbits on stage, so she has a lot of her artists on stage to sing, which I think is really awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So you're next in line for sure?
Yes, definitely. So you'll be seeing that very soon. Yeah.
Hell yeah. And have you ever had a chance to go to any of the big EDM festivals like Tomorrowland, Ultra, or EDC?
Not Tomorrowland, but I'm really hoping to go. That's like on my bucket list. EDC, yes. And when was it? I think it was Countdown. This was last New Year's. I was hanging out with Rez and Deadmau5 in their trailer, and it was super surreal because I grew up on Deadmau5, right? And I'm like, okay, Joel's an awesome dude, and Isabel's great, and it was just lovely. So I went to Countdown, EDC, what other festivals? Is that the only festivals? Oh God, I think.
Like Lost Lands?
No, I think, no, I know there's way more. I think those are the only festivals I've been to.
Okay. Oh,
yeah,
damn.
yeah. I'm 23, and growing up, I didn't really get a lot of exposure to other music outside. I lived in like a Christian home.
Oh wow.
And I still have love for God, but always. But I wasn't allowed to expand my musical, you know, like catalog. So now that I'm 23, I'm just now seeing shows, and I'm just now discovering. Because remember, I'd watch them on my phone. Yeah. So now I'm just like, you know, I want to go to Lost Lands, all these places. Festivals are fucking lit. It's where it's at. You know, the people are dope. Everything's dope.
100%. So let's talk about the transition from falling in love with dance music to then developing a relationship with the rock music scene. Where did that crossover come from?
I think it came from a lot of angst. I think it came from a place of pain, and I put a lot of emotion into my music and my writing. I'm really into heavy guitars. And it's crazy because I got introduced to rock music and metal music really late. I actually wasn't fond of it growing up, and because I wasn't allowed to listen to it. And so when I discovered it, I was like, wow, okay, and I have this grit and this angst, and I have this thing inside me that wants to get out, and that helps a lot with rock music. Rock music, electronic music was my first love, but rock music is my second love.
Hell yeah.
And you put those two together, you get your third love, you're locked in, right? So
Absolutely. So was there a band or a song in particular that ignited that love in the first place?
Let me think. I love Amy Lee. I like Anthony Green. Yes, absolutely. And when it comes to metal, Motionless in White, love Motionless in White, Under Oath. There's so many bands. I fell in love just with the sound, the guitars, the shredding, the screaming, the guttural wails. I'm like, yes, that comes from the heart, that comes from the soul, that comes from pain. I need that. So, that's what made me fall in love with rock, and that's what gave me the transition.
That's so awesome. And what I love about your music is you've brought that dance music ideology of collaboration into your music. Because looking at your Spotify, you have worked with so many different names on so many different songs. Like, was that something that you wanted to do from the get-go? It was like, hey, I like you, I want to work with you.
Honestly, I was trying to find my sound, and I think I'm finally figuring out what it is. But I was willing to collaborate with whoever on anything as long as it sounded good and beautiful and it felt right, and that person was a person of dignity and respect and respected me, then absolutely, yeah.
That's amazing. And out of the people that you've worked with so far, has there been anyone who's brought something out of you that you maybe didn't expect, or like a sound or a vibe that you were like, whoa, where did that come from?
Yeah, actually, I'm working with a producer right now currently. His name is Matthew Pauling, and I'm just so stoked because he's brought something out of me that I knew was in there, but I couldn't quite get out. Because when you have a good producer, they pull that out of you, like a string, right, from your heart. And I'm just really excited. We're working on a project in October, and this is the project.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I feel like everything I've been doing up to this point has been preparing me for this project, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it.
That's amazing. And I mean, in terms of the songs that you've got at the moment, how do you go about selecting a set list for a festival? Because I feel like with your sound, you could turn up and do a rock festival like this, but you could also go and turn up with a DJ and go and do a dance festival if you wanted to.
Yeah. Wait, what was the question?
So how do you go about selecting a set list and picking your songs to put together?
Okay, so, well, first of all, I observed the crowd that I was going to be working with, and I wanted to create the most angst that I could, the loudest that I could get, while also portraying this cinematic, theatrical Raven Gray side, right? So I brought all of that into a chord. A lot of work came from Morgoth, Morgoth beats, came from our album Casting Shadows that I put onto the set. And then, I brought together the loudest, angstiest shit that I possibly could, and there it was.
And then just turn up and slap people's eardrums with it.
Yeah. Lightly.
Lightly. Politely.
Well, no, not lightly, but with love.
Slap you with love.
Yes, I love my fans. I love my supporters. They mean a lot to me. They're the reason why I'm here.
That's amazing. And how long have you been making music for?
I've been making music, my whole life. I've been in chorus and musical theater, but professionally in the studio, probably for about 4 to 5 years now. Yeah, and I write all my songs. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to working on production as well. I'm learning production in Ableton. Yeah.
Let's go. So you're really looking up at cutting your own mixes and mashups as well?
Absolutely, yeah. I want to be fully dependent on myself and no other artists. Not that I don't want to collaborate, but when I want to get in the studio, I want to get in the studio and I want to get it done, Yeah.
Well, Raven, before we let you go, there's a theme that we've been doing with every band that's come through this weekend, which is how many questions can you answer in 60 seconds? No pressure, they're all silly questions, nothing too intense, but I'm excited to hear your answers because of all of your different influences. So Ollie's got 60 seconds on the clock and your time starts now. What's the greatest song you've ever written?
Embers.
Your favorite artist of all time?
Amy Winehouse.
The song you love playing live the most right now?
Tandems in the Sky.
The most fun artist to tour with?
Oh, fuck. I don't know yet because I haven't been on tour yet.
Well, that's still to come. The best album of all time?
I would say, is it June Cherna from Circus Survive?
Big answer. A festival show or a touring show?
That I would like to play or that I'm playing now? This one. This is the biggest one.
What's the most important item on a rider?
The most important item on a rider? Water.
What's a song you'd love to cover?
Sweet Dreams.
And what's your favorite song of all time?
Oh, God, you got me there. I like Coma White by Marilyn Manson.
What a shout. My friends, you must check out this up-and-coming artist. You need her voice in your life. It's one of the best sounds you could hope to imagine. Raven Gray, thank you ever so much for your time today.
Thank you so much. Can I give you a hug?
Absolutely. I'm sorry I'm so sweaty.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you.